Welcome to The Explainer. So, FC Barcelona just had a spectacular season, right? They look stronger than they have in years. But today, we're going to dig into a really fascinating paradox: how that incredible success might actually be setting them up for their biggest failure yet.
Okay, let's just jump right into it. On the surface, everything looks perfect. The team's winning, the books are looking better, the star players are on fire. But if you look a little closer, especially at their coach's history, you start to see a pattern. And honestly, it's a pattern that should make every single Barcelona fan just a little bit nervous.
To really get what the problem could be, we have to start with the success. I mean, it was incredible. And that whole story really begins and ends with the arrival of their coach, Hansi Flick, who just completely turned the club around. When Flick showed up, it was like a lightning bolt hit the team's attack. Seriously, just look at these numbers. Raphinha's goal count in the big competitions, it more than tripled. Lamine Yamal's output, it just exploded. And Robert Lewandowski, he hit a personal best for his entire time in Spain. This wasn't just, a small improvement. It was a total, radical transformation. And to really put Raphinha's season into perspective, he didn't just have a good year, he had the best year of his entire career. 34 goals in all competitions. That is just incredible for a guy who had never even cracked the 20-goal mark before. That is the Flick effect right there in a nutshell.
And it was pretty much the same story for their young superstar, Lamine Yamal. Flick's system just gave him the freedom to absolutely soar, and he almost tripled his goal count from the season before. I mean, we all knew Yamal was a special talent, but Flick unlocked a whole new level.
And it wasn't just about the individuals padding their stats. Flick built a tactical machine. They dominated their biggest rivals, Real Madrid, 4 different times, including a totally stunning 4-0 beatdown at their own stadium. And when they had to, they could just shut things down, play smart, and they only gave up 1 goal in a 5-match stretch in the league. They were, simply put, the whole package.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question. You've got trophies, you've got amazing performances, happy players, and the club is in a much better spot financially. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, the danger might just be the success itself.
All right, so this brings us to the real heart of the issue, because the biggest threat to Barcelona's dynasty might not be another team. It might be a lack of hunger coming from inside their own locker room.
Just think about what was driving them last season. You had players like Raphinha who were desperate to prove their critics wrong. Young guys like Yamal were fighting for that life-changing contract. But now what? Those goals have been met. The critics have gone quiet. The contracts are signed, and with all that success, well, that's when the risk of complacency creeps in.
For Lamine Yamal, the reward for his amazing season, well, life-changing. He got a massive new deal that bumped his base salary up tenfold, all the way to a reported $17 million. One of his biggest professional goals already achieved.
And almost as soon as that ink was dry, reports started popping up questioning his focus. Noisy parties, a lavish lifestyle. It led to some quiet warnings for the young star to maybe stay a little more grounded. It's that classic trap, right? Too much, too soon.
And then you have this number, 0. That's how many goals Raphinha, the top scorer from last season, managed to score during the entire preseason tour. The team scored 15 goals in those games, but their star finisher couldn't find the back of the net even once. Now that's a worrying sign about his form, and maybe, just maybe, about his desire heading into the new season.
And finally, you've got the veteran, Robert Lewandowski. He's not getting any younger. And with reports that the club is looking to give the younger Ferran Torres a bigger role, you have to ask yourself, is his passion and his drive going to stay at that peak level in what could be his last few months with the team?
Now, this isn't just some theory we're cooking up. This exact pattern, this meteoric rise followed by a sudden, sharp fall that seems to be fueled by a loss of motivation, it's happened before. And the chilling part? It happened with the very same coach, Hansi Flick.
Just look at this timeline from his time at Bayern Munich. In his first season, he did the impossible. He won the treble. They were without a doubt the best team in the world. But the very next season, it all just unraveled. They suffered these shocking early exits from 2 huge competitions, and just days after getting knocked out of the Champions League, Flick announces he's leaving. Just like that, the magic was gone.
This quote really gets to the absolute core of it, doesn't it? Building success out of adversity, it creates this incredible bond, this powerful drive. But keeping that same hunger when you're already standing on top of the mountain, that is a completely different challenge. And it's a much, much harder one.
And here's the really crucial difference. When Flick's Bayern team lost its edge, they were still so much better than everyone else in their league that they won the title anyway. It was like a safety net. Well, Barcelona has no such luxury. In La Liga, they've got a relentless Real Madrid that will be right there to punish every single sign of weakness.
So, that leaves us with the million-dollar question for the season. Have Hansi Flick and Barcelona actually learned from the past? Or are they just destined to repeat it? Proving that sometimes the most dangerous moment for any team is right after they've won it all.